Hi, welcome to this week's episode of TPI Games to Watch. I'm Lizzie Arbogast, sports editor at Tallapoosa Publishers, and it is hard to believe, but we are a third of the way through the football season. It's week 3. Region play is underway. We got a lot of exciting games on the docket this week, certainly, but we're going to start it off here in Tallapoosa County, where we have an in-county rivalry for our game to watch, and that's Horseshoe Bend, which is headed to Reeltown. These two teams have met up for 17 years, and the Generals have never beaten Reeltown, and I don't think this year is the year. The only thing that I think Horseshoe Bend can really get going for it is if they can do something well early. I mean, you look at last year when Reeltown played Central Coosa. Central Coosa actually had a lead on them in the first quarter. I think the Rebels got a little complacent, and Horseshoe Bend does have the athletes to score the football. With Holt Tidwell back at quarterback, he can run. He can manage drives very well. He can use his feet to get out of some bad situations. And so I think if Horseshoe Bend can get a little bit going early on and sort of frustrate the Rebels, that's something that we saw Dadeville do very well against Reeltown earlier this year. I think that will potentially give the Generals a confidence booster that they need and maybe be close at the end. But really, I think this is going to be sort of a blowout, unfortunately. I think Reeltown's going to come out fast. I think they're going to come out strong, and I don't think that the Generals have the speed to combat what the Rebels do, especially on offense. So I guess time will tell. We will see tonight, but hopefully, for the fans' sake, for the community's sake, for the rivalry's sake, it's a close one tonight.
I'm Caleb Turntime with the Wetumpka Herald. In this week's games to watch, we're going to take a look at Wetumpka traveling over to Opelika as the two teams search for another instant classic, as it has been for the past 3 years. The last 3 meetings have been decided by a total of 4 points, and the two teams have scored the exact same number of points combined in those 3 meetings. This will be the 3rd time it's been a top 10 battle in the last 4 years, with Opelika ranked number 8 and Wetumpka ranked number 9 this season. Opelika is off to a 3-0 start. They're replacing quite a bit from the offense from last season, but quarterback Brody Davis has stepped up, filled in well to lead the offense this year. But the defense is the Bulldogs' strength. They've only allowed 20 points so far through 3 games, including a shutout of Selma last week. But the battle to watch will be Wetumpka's wide receivers against Opelika's secondary. Both teams consider them one of their strengths, and Wetumpka's receivers are known for those big explosive plays. So if they can get a couple of those, they'll feel like they're in good shape. Opelika's secondary is pretty good at stopping them, as they're led by Jalen Stinson this year once again. So there's no guarantee that this is going to be another 1-point, 2-point game, but expect it to be another great showdown that will have a big impact on the region this season.
Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Carmen Rogers of Tallapoosa Publishers, bringing you this week's games to watch. I'm here at J.E. Hott O'Brien Stadium with the Tallahassee Tigers head coach Mike Battles. Coach, the Tigers took a tough loss last week to Greenville High School, but we're looking forward to this week taking on Carroll High School in what will be the season's first home game. Tell me, how do you feel heading into Friday night's game?
Well, our kids are excited, to finally get to play at home. We've had 3 toughies on the road. Last week was no exception. We did a lot of good things in the game, but the few mistakes we made, good football teams, they tend to magnify them, and that's what Greenville did. And we had opportunities in the first half to possibly take the lead and did not execute properly, and then I came out in the second half, had a couple of mistakes. And so, we've had good practices this week. Kids have a short memory. Coaches have a lot longer memory than the kids and stuff. But they're excited, to finally be at home, be in our normal routine. Our crowds are always good. It really doesn't matter home or away, but there's a little bit something extra when you walk out and touch that Hott O'Brien trophy down there, the statue, and head onto the field with all those people around you. So I'm excited. I know they are too. It's just been a hot week, and I was proud of them, the way they kind of rebounded and came back and went back to work. This is a big ball game. This one, not only because it's the next one, but it's another region game, and it could go a long way toward getting back to the playoffs. And so, they got a good football team. It was a tight ball game last year. We kicked a field goal with about 50 seconds left to beat them, and I expect it's going to be another tight game. They're a very big, very physical football team. That's the way Coach McDonald coaches them down there, and it's going to be a short game because they're going to line up and run it right at us, and we're going to line up and run it right back at them. So we'll see who works out.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I will certainly be here, and that'll be a packed house, we hope. And that's going to do it for this week's edition of Games to Watch. I hope you'll join us again next week. Until then, I'm Carmen Rogers for Tallapoosa Publishers.